Today I'm going to show you how to make raw kefir from scratch, a probiotic-rich drink that's going to help you optimize your health. Not only that, I'm going to give you a recipe on how to use kefir to tenderize your meat to make it more delicious when you eat it. Each and every one of us are unique. We have our genetics, our microbiome composition, and our individual life experiences that help shape us. We respond to the foods we eat quite differently. That said, a good rule of thumb is to eat real, whole food from the earth. That's why I'm going to show you how to make raw kefir. Let's get into the materials and the ingredients. First, a glass jar, about a quart, that's roughly 4 cups, with a wide mouth preferably. A cheesecloth, or any other cloth for that matter. A rubber band to wrap around that cloth that's going to go over the lid. A wooden spoon to stir it. The ingredients, simple. 2 tablespoons of kefir grains and 2 cups of raw milk. Organic, grass-fed cow milk or goat milk is generally preferable. Make sure all your equipment has been thoroughly washed and sanitized. You don't want unwanted bacteria to interrupt the fermentation process. Of course, we all know there's the good bacteria and there's the bad bacteria. I like to have a steady supply of kefir on hand at all times. If my batch isn't quite ready when I want my kefir, or if I run out of kefir grains, I'm fortunate. I just run down to the local Sprouts market and I get my raw kefir. That's right. They sell a brand called Raw Farms, family owned since 1998. They're not a sponsor, but hey, I use it and it does me right. Might as well pitch it to you. Simply put the 2 tablespoons of kefir grains into your glass jar. Raw milk is preferred because it's got all that beneficial bacteria that's going to help in the fermentation process. Why use a wooden spoon versus a metal one? Because metal, when it interacts with the acidic environment of kefir grains, can leach ions affecting the fermentation process. Wood is inert and doesn't have that same effect. There's your quick chemistry lesson. Cover your jar with a cheesecloth, a paper towel will even do. Put a rubber band over it, loosely. You want it to breathe, but you don't want any bugs or dust getting in there. Put it in a safe place away from direct sunlight. The ideal temperature is about 68 to 78 degrees Fahrenheit. That's about 20 to 26 degrees Celsius. For about 12 to 24 hours. The longer you let it sit, the thicker, the more tangy it's going to be. And the warmer the temperature, the faster it's going to ferment. After about 12 hours, check it. If it's to the consistency that you like and the flavor is on point, then it's ready. You're going to want to strain it by pouring it through a cheesecloth into another clean container, lightly stirring it till all the liquid has gone in the container and you've separated out the kefir grains. Transfer your freshly made kefir into another jar. This time seal the lid. Put it in the refrigerator. And you've got it when you want it. You can enjoy it plain, put it in smoothies. What I like to do is make a chocolate shake. I'll take raw cacao powder and whey protein powder. Sometimes I'll add a little honey or some fruit. I'll blend it up and talk about a nutritious, healthy, protein-packed snack. For your kefir grains, if you're ready right away for your next batch, go ahead and rinse and repeat. If you're not, just go ahead and put those kefir grains into another jar along with 2 cups of milk, seal it, and leave it in the fridge until you're ready to ferment it again. And now for the bonus, the kefir meat tenderizer recipe. Not only is it going to tenderize your meat, it's going to add to the flavor. For the ingredients, 1 cup of raw kefir, a 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar, lemon and lime, 4 cups of filtered water. An optional addition is 2 tablespoons of sugar or 2 tablespoons of raw honey. Now, add your meat or poultry. For beef, think about 1 pound. That's 4 quarter pounders. Chicken, maybe about 4 breasts or 4 thighs. 3 to 4 cloves of garlic, sliced and diced. If you have 1 to 2 sprigs of rosemary or thyme on hand, throw those in there too. A 1/4 cup of salt. 1 teaspoon of black pepper, optional. These portion sizes are a general rule, which I don't follow because I don't make batches that big. I just prepare it for a single serving. For instance, I'll do about a 1/4 pound of beef and then just eyeball all the ingredients, nowhere near to the amounts that I just gave you. I do it without sugar. I often do it without a lot of these ingredients. Heck, sometimes I just do it with kefir and that's it. And I add a little salt because I found that that really helps tenderize it. Also, whenever I buy my beef, I'll get it a pound at a time. I'll slice it into 4s and then I'll put that in a jar. And I'll marinate it with apple cider vinegar, lemon and lime, salt and pepper, and then I'll let that sit in the fridge so it's already starting to get tenderized. And then usually the day I'm gonna have my kefir infused beef, that's when I'll pour that in there, and then I'll let it sit till I'm ready to prepare it that day. Add all your ingredients together. If you're following this recipe on a grand scale, you're gonna need a bowl. For my purposes, I just use a mason jar, add all the ingredients, and I shake it up. And I usually let it sit for about 4 hours before I'm cooking. You can marinate it for as little as 2 hours or up to 8 hours. Heck, if you leave it overnight and it's been 24 hours, you're still good to go. It'll probably be infused with even more flavor. Once the marinating or brining is done, you have a couple of options. First, you could rinse your meat off in cold water and then pat it dry before you do the cooking. Or, in my case, I just take the whole concoction and I'll cook it up as is. Choose your preferred cooking method, whether you're baking it, grilling it. In my case, I pan sear it at the lowest temperature, roughly 165 degrees Fahrenheit or 74 degrees Celsius. Let the meat sit for a few minutes. This allows all the juices inside to distribute evenly to optimize the flavor. Bon appetit! I hope you all learn to love raw kefir as much as I have and reap all the health benefits. Its retention of natural vitamins, minerals, and enzymes. Its beneficial bacteria such as lactobacillus that promote your gut health. The added immune support you get from its natural antibodies and immunoglobulins. And finally, the peace of mind you'll get when you opt for raw milk that has been sourced from small, local farms that prioritize sustainable and humane farming practices. All the best on your health journey. And remember, don't be afraid to eat real whole food, even when everyone else around you is eating packaged, processed foods that are more socially acceptable. Ultimately, what really matters is your health. That's going to allow you to become the best version of yourself, not a carbon copy of everyone else. Life is about fulfilling your potential, not about achieving mediocrity.